Hello everyone, this is Brandon and welcome back to English Villa. You can see clearly that I am not at my villa today. I am at my small apartment in Hiroshima City, and I have been thinking about, since I've been sharing some of the videos that I shot a few months ago, and I still have some more footage to share from a while back, so I'll be doing that. But thinking about the stuff that I've been able to edit and post recently, as well as the new video that I got just the other day when I went back to my Kominka for the first time in a while, I've been thinking about the long period of time. Of course, anybody that joined the channel or was looking forward to some content over the past couple of months, you might be wondering what's been going on, especially since the weather has been nicer. You saw in some of the videos before, a few months ago, it was pretty heavy snow. It was very cold, and getting out there on days like that and doing it myself, there were multiple reasons why that was a big challenge for me. But I decided to share a little bit about why I'm not making a ton of videos and why I haven't been making a ton of videos over the past couple of months. And it's not because I feel like I owe you that. It's just that I feel that because some of you are really interested in what I'm doing, and kominkas or old Japanese houses, or living in Japan, or renovating a house in Japan, or whatever, anything that I happen to be doing that you're interested in, I don't want you to feel like, what's going on, or what's the deal with the posting schedule? Why nothing for a couple of months? It's primarily so that you understand what's been going on, and if you can give me some support also, that would be great. But anyway, a couple of months ago, actually, if you watched my last video, did you see the last video where I found the katana? If you didn't see that, I recommend it simply because it's so cool. I mean, how often do people find a real katana in an abandoned Japanese house after they buy it? It's very strange. It's very amazing. Even my Japanese friends and colleagues say that it's totally unheard of. They've never even actually seen one in person, much less had one at home or saw anyone with one. It's not. Maybe it's a stereotype if you think that many families actually have a katana in their home, but it's not that simple. And I'll explain that later if I can remember. Okay, it's not the main point, but I can explain that later. But like I said, I recommend you go back and watch that video so that you can see a couple of things, not just for the katana and the coolness of that, but also I want you to see and notice, because I didn't notice until I was editing the video and putting it online. But you'll notice that I was breathing pretty heavily during that video, and I wasn't doing anything particularly difficult. I mean, inside the house, I was rummaging through some chests and cabinets, and then I found the katana and I brought it out and I made a video. But I was really struggling with taking breaths, and when I was walking on the road, I was struggling with taking breaths, and at the time I just thought I was really out of shape. And of course, that was in February, but things progressively got worse for me after that, because not only was I having a hard time breathing, but I was also having some pain in my side here and in my abdomen, and I felt like I wasn't getting enough oxygen. So I felt like the pain here was related to gallstones or kidney stones, which I know that I have, and the breathing difficulty and the energy loss going uphill. I just thought I was out of shape and I needed more exercise. Looking back, that's kind of crazy, because I do teach, and 5 days a week I have to walk up a hill to get to the school. There's no bus, and I can't ride my bike up this steep hill, so I have to walk up there 5 days a week. And I was going out to my Kominka at least 2 or 3 times a month, if not every week. And that's what I was going to tell you. The journey from my apartment here in Hiroshima to my villa in the country is almost 3 hours one way. And that's because I'm not driving yet. So first, I ride my bike. I almost said jitensha, but my bike I ride to the station, the train station. And then I take the train from this station to Saijo Station. And from Saijo Station, I take a bus, which is another 45 minutes, all the way to the end, to the last bus stop, which is the station. And then from there, I walk another 45 minutes to get to my house because there's no transportation, not even a bus that goes out there. So it takes just shy of 3 hours for normal public transportation and walking. And that's with a bicycle going to the station. If I don't take my bike, that's going to add another 15 minutes or so, maybe. But anyway, you'll see that an almost 6-hour round trip or a 5.5-hour round trip is nothing to sniff at. And I was doing it every week or at least 2 or 3 times a month since I got the house. And it's uphill one way. So from the bus station all the way to my house, it's about 85% uphill. It's not super steep, but it is always going up. And there are only a couple of places where it levels out just a little bit before it goes up again. So coming back is much easier than going out there. However, going out there 2, 3, 4 times a month plus going to the school 5 days a week, there's no reason, or there was no reason for me to be so out of shape. However, it got to where I was having to stop and take a rest again and again and again, multiple times, to catch my breath, to let the pain in my side. I was even having some pain over here when I would walk too much. And I was having to stop and rest on the side of the road. It finally got to the point where I thought, okay, there's no way that this is just me needing more exercise. So I talked to my sensei, Saori sensei. She's my Nihongo teacher, but she's also been my #1 help here in Japan. She has done so much for me. I hope that she's watching. And sensei, if you're watching, I will say it again. I know I've said to you many times, but I'll say it again. God bless you for being such an awesome person in my life. I really don't know what I would have done last year and this year without your help. I told a friend of mine the other day that you are like my angel that was sent to help me, and I really appreciate what you've done. So for the others that are watching, you have absolutely no idea the level of support that Saori Sensei has given to me. She's made calls for me. She's translated things for me. She's helped me with my Nihongo, my Japanese. Although that's the main reason I contacted her, is to help me with my Japanese. But since then, she's become so much more than just a teacher for me. She's helped me with so many things. It's unbelievable. Even with acquiring the house, doing the paperwork, talking to the agents, and making inquiries, things that I don't understand. You can see back here, whoops, I've got the katana here that I'm still waiting for the registration on. She helped me with this information. There are so many things. If I made a list, I think the list would be very long of what she's helped me with, so I can't say thank you enough. But I remember that was on a Friday, and it was kind of late. I waited a little long, and the way the system works in Japan is if you want to go to the hospital, like the main hospital, then you need to go to the clinic first, and they'll check you out. And if they find that it's a bigger issue than they can handle, then they will give you a referral to go to the main hospital. If you don't have that referral, then you can't go to the main hospital. If it's an emergency, of course you can just go straight to a hospital. That's different. But in my situation, I'm having pains, I'm having, loss of energy, walking uphill. It's not considered an emergency, so I can't just go to the ER like that. So I contacted her and I said, I can't take this situation anymore. Can you help me? And she helped me book a clinic not far from here. And I went there They did some tests, and they were concerned about the results. And he said he believed that there was some issue with my kidney. So they did several different tests, and after I got the results, he referred me to a hospital. He actually asked me which hospital I wanted to go to, and I chose the one that I thought was the better hospital, and also it was easier to get to, not too far from the station. I can just take a bus from the station. And I had that appointment more than 2 months ago. That was, somewhere in, what is it? So it's almost July now. Wow, time flies. The very first appointment I had was in early May with the clinic, and then right after that I went to the hospital for my referral. There they did the more extensive scans. They did a CT scan and did the X-ray kind of thing, and checked out what's going on in there. And specifically, the other doctor at the clinic had told them that he wanted them to check my kidney. So that's what they did. They checked my right kidney, and when they came back with the results and showed me the X-ray, which I would like to show you because it's pretty amazing to look at. But they showed me it was very easy to see the size difference. So my right kidney just looks like really big compared to my other kidney, but it's actually not the kidney. There's something else on the kidney, and you can just guess what that is. Like I've said other places recently, I'm not going to name this issue, and there are reasons why. I mean, I know everybody has their own beliefs about life and spirituality, religion, things like that, and I respect all of them. I don't adhere to all of them, but there's one thing I do adhere to, and that is focus on what you really want and putting your positive feelings and belief into that, and I do believe that works wonders. So in my mind, there's no point in naming what the doctor said this was. They did say that they wanted me to do drugs, oral drugs, injections, and then they wanted to try cutting me open and taking something out. But I told him, no thank you. I'm not interested in doing any of those things. I've had several people in my life, family and friends, other people, in-laws, even my ex-girlfriend's mother, people like that. They've been under similar circumstances, and they followed those procedures, that standard treatment is what they call it, and they all suffered more and passed away. So I'm not interested in doing that. What I decided to do instead was, excuse me just for a moment, just a little coffee. Thank you for bearing with me. Okay. My very first response after leaving the hospital was to go to the main shrine nearby, which is it's close to the hospital and close to Hiroshima Castle, which is a place I love to go to. And I wanted to go there and just not to pray and ask for help or anything like that, but there were a couple of reasons. One is because I wanted to be somewhere peaceful to talk to a friend of mine, my friend Bainley. He is a really close friend, and he had asked me, will you call me as soon as you get out of the hospital? Because he was very, very worried. When I told him I was going to the hospital to get a checkup, he immediately just was really upset about that. But when I went to the park, I just happened to find a eucalyptus tree, which of course you probably know that's what koalas like to eat, is eucalyptus. And Bainley and I, about 3 years ago, almost exactly 3 years ago, it was on June 18th that we flew to Australia, and on June 19th, which is my mom's birthday, we went to the Australia Zoo and held a koala, both of us. Had a great trip. It's like the best trip I've ever had with one other friend. It was just very memorable, very great trip. So when I think of koalas and anything to do with Australia, I always think of Bainley and that trip. So we joke about that. But whenever I talk to him, it just happened to be right by this eucalyptus tree. So I felt a lot of peace which of course is also the theme of Hiroshima, is peace. You can't be in Hiroshima without hearing the word peace uttered in some place, or in text form or whatever, somewhere, at least several times while you're here. And anyway, I feel at peace at that area close to the castle and the shrine. And I talked with my friend, and after that I went ahead and came home. But it put me in a really contemplative, thoughtful mood. I can tell you that the doctor told me, first of all, he immediately recommended that I go back to America. And I started laughing. I said, why should I do that? Why should I go back to America? And he said, well, I think you should go back for two main reasons. One is because of the language gap. He could speak English. It wasn't that great, but he felt like this particular situation was very, very important. His word was serious. Important, I think so. But, serious, debatable. But to him, it was very serious, and he thought that by being in America, I would have no communication issues, and I could follow the doctor's recommendations clearly, and understanding everything that was going on in perfect English, basically. The other thing was he thought that I would have a really nice support system in place there. I would have friends and family or whatever. But what he didn't understand is that I've been living abroad in Asia for nearly 10 years. I lived in China for about 7 years. I've lived in Japan over 2 years this time, but I've actually flown back and forth, and I've lived in Japan before, but I've visited Japan like 15 times while I was living in China. I mean, I've been here a lot. I've been all around. I've wanted to live here. This has been my goal for a while, to make my home here. So when I told him I've been living here for this long, and I just bought a house. I have this Kominka in the country. I'm fixing it up and renovating. I want to build my life here. I want to build a business. I want to shoot some more films and things like that. Why would I go back to America? I mean, I can go back to visit people that I care about, but to move back there, no way. And the other thing is, I have insurance here. I do have a job here, so I have the national health insurance. It's very cheap for me to go to the hospital here. No matter, even if I had to have surgery, it's going to be very affordable for me. But if I go back to America, I lose that. I lose work. I have no place to go back to. I have no home. I could say that I have no support. That's debatable. It's kind of true. I mean, for reasons I won't get into, the situation is that, first of all, the main reason is because I've been living abroad for almost 10 years. I mean, if I don't have a house back there and good, solid relationships there, what am I going to do for support? I think it's kind of more of a depressing situation to put myself into, and all the stress and the money of having to move. There are so many reasons why that wouldn't work. But the main reason for me is because that's just not what I want. What I want is to build my life here. And that's what I told him. Pardon me, the camera cable's catching on the chair. Anyway, that's what I told the doctor. But before I went back to see him, it was about 3 weeks. 3 weeks before I would go back. He said, go home, think about it, make your decision about your treatment. If you want to stay here and have your treatment, fine. I'll support you, but go home and think about it, come back in 3 weeks. So I came home, and the very first thing I did was fast. I didn't eat or drink anything for about 2 days, 3 days maybe. And then I continued for about 4 more days of only drinking water. So for 1 week, I didn't eat anything. I don't know what you know about fasting or what you believe about fasting. It doesn't really matter. It's just that I know that fasting is a really great tool for healing the body, for giving it a rest, letting it fix itself, and preparing you to do things like change your diet and put you in a more contemplative, spiritual, peaceful state of mind. And I can tell you that that first week was really, really rough. And those first 3 weeks were rough. I continued to work. I didn't take off any time from the school except to go to the hospital on certain days, because I only have a very limited number of vacation days, so I can't just take off. The other thing is that every day I'm still walking up the hill. Now, here's the funny thing. If I'm completely healthy and I'm pushing my bike completely healthy, I can go from here to the school up that hill in like 12 minutes from here to there. Okay? But the first time I went up the hill to the school, when I was at my worst, that first week, I was fasting. I was feeling miserable. I'm not going to lie. I wanted to give up. I had to stop about 15 times to take breaks going up that hill. And it took me almost an hour. It took me 45 minutes to get up there. That's about 4 times as fast as normal. That's crazy. And I remember many days I'm walking up, the kids are walking by me, they're passing me and stuff, and normally I'm passing them. But they were passing me, and I would just stop to catch my breath, to relax. My legs felt like they had no energy. My arms even felt like they had no energy. When I would lean over on the rail, I felt like I couldn't even really hold myself up. I just wanted to give up. I just wanted to lie down and not do anything. That's really all. You know you're bad when you look down at the pavement and you think, oh, it looks so comfortable. I just want to lie down and let this be someone else's problem. That's the way I felt. So, I think that's enough information for you to understand why I haven't been posting any videos. I do have some footage, but I took my mind off of that, and obviously for physical reasons I couldn't just go out to my apartment. I couldn't go out to my Kominka anyway to make new videos, so it didn't really matter. But all of the video footage that I've already shot, I didn't even have the focus really and the energy to just put it on the computer and edit and get it out to you. I'm not going to apologize for it, because I know I have no reason to apologize. But I do want you guys to understand so that you can send me your positive energy. And I did post a link to my last video on Facebook, and I shared a little bit of information there. And I'll say this now just for clarification. Like I said, I'm not religious. I was brought up in religion, and I read a lot in the Bible, and I still follow some things in the Bible, and I still do some study in it. But I don't follow any religion or any particular teaching. The only thing I really focus on right now and follow is the idea that, I don't want to call it a teaching, but I believe that it's the eternal truth. It's just the truth. The truth is basically that your reality, my reality, and what we see happening around us, the things that happen to us, our health, our relationships, our happiness, the money that we make, or how poor we are, or how rich we are, or whatever, all of these things are created from the inside. So basically, if you think it and your emotions about those thoughts become really negative, then it's like a marriage. Those negative thoughts and those strong negative feelings will get together, and they all have children, and those children go directly into your subconscious. Your subconscious creates anything you put in. You could also say that your subconscious is like your higher self, your higher being, or whatever. Doesn't matter what you call it, but it will create whatever you put in there. It does not discriminate. So if you're always thinking negative things and saying negative things and feeling negative things, then you're just going to get negative things in your life. That's true. Now, I'm not saying that it's just all goody two-shoes. If you just say positive things all the time, then everything will turn out roses. That's not true either. it's like I said, your words, your thoughts have to be combined with those feelings. You have to have the genuine feelings that go along with those positive statements and positive thoughts. If you say, I'm rich, I'm a millionaire, but on the inside and your body is like, no, you're not. You're poor. You barely make enough money to pay your bills. You're not a millionaire. If you're feeling that, then what you're doing is you're actually reinforcing the negative thoughts that you're broke and that you're poor. And that's what goes into your subconscious. So people are just saying over and over and over again, I'm rich, I'm rich, I'm rich, I'm rich, I'm rich, and they never get rich. And they wonder, why? Well, it's because the flesh is weak and the spirit is willing, but you have to put the right message into the spirit. Otherwise, you're just going to create and keep creating the nonsense in your life that you really don't want. So you really have to clean out that fear, replace it with strong faith. And this is where I'm at right now. What happened a couple months ago with the doctor's appointment and the exam was just a reminder to me how I've gotten so far off track. So going all the way back to the time I was a child, the same thing happened to me that happens to most people. Okay, it doesn't matter if you thought you came from a good family or not. Maybe you did come from a really good family, but there are many of you, most of you, I would say, that say, oh, I had a pretty good home life, pretty good family, pretty good parents or whatever, but still, doesn't matter. You still were indoctrinated to a large degree to be fearful, to be scared, to believe that you can't, to not reach for the things you really want. You probably don't even know what you really want. No matter what age you are, it's very possible that you don't know what you really want because you've spent your whole life doing the things that other people wanted you to do or the things that you thought you had to do, and you've lost sight of what you really want. Or you've never even been able to find out what you really want because you've never actually focused on that. And if you are not doing what you really love and what you really want to do, okay, with your thoughts and your emotions, then you're never gonna be happy. You know the word ease, right? I'm at ease. Well, dis-ease, disease, comes about as a result of not being the person you were born to be. And that's what I had done. I had basically allowed myself to become very, very negative in my thinking and in my words and complaining about things. And for the majority, actually, they will complain about the same things. I mean, now that I'm so focused on rejecting these thoughts and rejecting these words from my life so that everything turns around, it's very, very easy to see how everybody's doing it. And I try my best to keep that out because it is absolutely imperative that I clean my mind out. So I meditate when I first wake up in the morning. I say with conviction and with feeling the things that I believe to be becoming true, that I'm getting better and better every day, that I'm healing every day, that I'm becoming richer in every day, happier, and my relationships are getting better, my career is advancing. All of these things are getting better and better every day. So I meditate on these things in the morning, I meditate on them in the evening just before I go to sleep. I don't go to sleep worried about anything. I lie down on the bed, I start repeating stuff until I go to sleep. So when I drift off to sleep, I'm just thinking and saying positive things. And that's what I've been doing now for a couple of weeks. But for the past couple of months, I've also changed my diet. So after my fast, I think right now some of you maybe think that I look very thin. And I have lost a lot. I mean, I'm very thin again like I was when I was in high school. There's not a lot of muscle mass on me. But I've been doing keto basically. Sugars are cut out. So like the coffee here doesn't have any sugar. I've been drinking lots of green tea, no sugar. I cook for myself 95% of the time, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I don't like that I'm eating so much meat now because I don't think it's really that healthy. But once again, belief is number one. So I eat what I believe that I need to eat, and I'm thankful for it. I give thanks for it, and I believe that it's helping me. I eat eggs in the morning, and sometimes I mix some other things in, vegetables, meat, or whatever. I also have almond milk with no sugar. I don't eat any noodles, and in Japan, not eating noodles, not eating any bread, not eating rice. I don't eat any of those things. I haven't eaten any of those things for over a month. I went to an Indian restaurant today to get some curry and vegetables and a salad. And they brought some naan, big naan bread to me, which I'm not eating right now, but I did eat some of it. I took a part of it and I ate it. But I did it in a different spirit. I said, this place is my favorite Indian restaurant, and it is. I always am happy to go there, and I always feel good after I eat there. Their curry tastes great. The vegetables are so good that they put in the curry. They just taste so fresh, and I like it so much. It makes me happy. So I tell myself, even this bread that they've given to me was made with care and love, and I'm so thankful for that. I'm so grateful for this. I can eat it, and it will help my body. So I take the food with a sense of appreciation, like the Japanese word itadakimasu, so that some people say before they eat. It just means basically thanks for the food. But it's kind of a deep thing. It doesn't just mean thanks for the food, like good food, good drink, good God, let's eat. You know, it's not like that. I know it looks like that in some of the anime or whatever you see. Yeah, itadakimasu, and then they just start eating. But if you ask somebody to really explain to you about the depth of what it means to say itadakimasu, thank you for the food. It's not just for the food. It's also for the person who cooked it. It's for the people who brought the food there. It's for the people who grew the food. And it's for the food itself becoming your food. It's like and the environment for creating it. It's like an all-encompassing thank you. So it's a very concise way of saying thank you for all these aspects of this meal that's here for me. And that's the appreciation that I showed earlier today for lunch when I stopped at the Indian restaurant. And to be honest, I'm very grateful that I can do that. You know, I don't eat out as much as I used to, but there are some times where I just say, you know what? They have good food here. It's healthy and it's good for me. And I'm going to go there and be thankful that I can buy it and eat it. Just like the deer that I ate the other day. And then I saw a deer on my way to the Kominka, so that was kind of funny. He just kept staring at me. If you didn't see that video, I have a short on my page. It's very short, just showing the deer that was on the side of the road after I ate. Anyway, I think I've rambled on for long enough. I see that I'm over 30 minutes. I know it's a long video, but it was a lot to say. I wanted to, number one, I wanted to get it off my chest. I felt like I wanted to share that and be positive for anyone who might be going through anything right now. It doesn't matter what it is. I know that you're here on this channel to be finding out about some interesting things related to, you know, the old houses in Japan, the renovations, or maybe other things about Japan, whatever. You know, it could be any of those things. All are okay. But it would be wrong of me to not share with you what I'm going through in a way that can encourage you. If there's something that connects with you, inspires you, or helps you, then great. Because that's really all I want to do, even as a filmmaker. That's what I want to do. I want to move people and touch them in ways that make their lives better. How to do that? I believe this is the way. You know, it's all about belief. And so I'm going to continue tackling this issue with my health with my own methods, which I believe are helping. And it was nice to be back at my house. I believe that I'll be back out there more. I'm about to have a summer break starting near the end of next month. Fingers crossed, we'll have a car. I'm looking to buy a little car so that I can get out to the house and back, and to Costco and back, which I really could use. And at that point, I believe I'll be able to shoot a lot more, and I'm looking forward to sharing those things with you. And of course, if there's anything in particular that you would like to know or see or ask about my house, or buying a house in general, or anything else, it's fine. It doesn't matter if it's related to the health issue. It doesn't matter if it's Japan stuff, moving to Japan, working in Japan, or the Kominka, buying an old house. Anything is fine. You can ask me whatever you want, and you can probably look in the replies. I'm pretty good about giving thorough replies. I'm a quick typer, so I can put stuff up pretty quick. But anyway, I think that's all I'll say for now, just to keep it under 40 minutes. And for anyone who actually listened to this whole thing, thank you very much. I really do appreciate you. I appreciate all of you. I appreciate all of my viewers. I have another channel it's kind of a grab bag. It was meant to be my movie channel, but it has other things other than my movies. So I haven't been really focused on that. I've been more focused on this. So as I continue healing, I'll keep making some videos about the Kominka, and I look forward to interacting with you guys more and having more and more people join the channel and increase the community and the chat that's going on. Well, until I see you again, or until I chat with you in the comment section, I'll say I love you all and have a great week, okay? Right. じゃあね. Bye bye.